Oh, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm Denzel Duckett, and welcome to Sports Talk. We're gonna start today by talking about the Super Bowl. You know, Super Bowl 45. You know, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers and we got the Green Bay Packers. Now, who's gonna win? Everybody's got their idea of what they think can happen. It's really any given Sunday, but if it's not, I'm gonna tell you today who's gonna win the game. Go to Vegas, make your bets. Now, when it comes down to coaching, that's kind of shaky. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Mike Tomlin, the coach for the Steelers. I mean, he looked like Omar L's daddy and all that. But other than that, you know, he been to the Super Bowl to where his Green Bay coach. He haven't been to the Super Bowl, but you can't forget when the Giants won and they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. The championship was Green Bay against the Giants. That was when right before they got rid of Brett Favre or whatever, they went and made a championship run right there. Last year, I saw signs that if they made it this far, they could get to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, so we really can't break it down to coaching because those situations haven't happened yet. But if we have to go with coaching today, we got to go with Pittsburgh, get an edge to them because they've been to the big game before and won it. So we got to give it to them. Now, moving on. I mean, when you come and you think about the quarterbacks, it's kind of hard because, I mean, both of them, I mean, they got their do's and they got their don'ts. They got the things they can do and then they got the things they can't do. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of both ways. But I mean, let's talk about each quarterback individually, and then we'll see where we at. Now, when it come to Ben, he alright, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know he's a big dude. You ain't gonna be able to just take him down, you know what I'm saying? And, I mean, he got a little arm on him. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, he's a pretty good quarterback when it comes to standing in the pocket and, you know, he'll stay there and he'll take that hit to get that good pass off. So, you know, I mean, I like Ben in that aspect, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got a lot of good qualities when it comes to that, but he would take the sack in other than throwing an interception or throwing a bad pass down the field. Now, that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, because you could take that sack could knock you out of the game. Then here come who? Dixon, Byron Leftwich or somebody, and Super Bowl over then, you know. So, I mean, when you think about Ben, he got a little couple good qualities, but, you know, he got a couple things that he don't do well. Like, for instance, I don't think he read blitzes too well. You know, maybe he don't have to, but I just think he got a problem right there. So that's Ben in a nutshell. Now, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, it's a lot of things that go into it. Like, you got to think, for one, he came to a team that was in the shadow of Brett Favre. Everybody was talking about Brett Favre. Now, nobody's talking about Brett Favre. So, I mean, honestly, this guy has to be the truth. You know what I'm saying? He can throw the ball just as well as any of them. You see that yourself. You know what I'm saying? He got that offense clicking. When he's going, they're going. And even against the Bears, he had a bad game, but it still was all right, and they still won. So, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like Aaron Rodgers. I think when it comes to throwing the ball, you know, he's better than Ben, you know what I'm saying, as far as like averaging yards, and he throw a lot of touchdowns. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, which Ben don't either, but I'll say out of the two, I have to say Ben is most likely to throw one than Aaron Rodgers throwing one. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, like, he scrambles decent. He's not a Ben Roethlisberger scrambling, meaning, you know, he can't take the big hit, and he's not big enough to just shake off a tackle or anything, but he'll lose some, you know, defenders. I mean, he had to deal with Julius Peppers last week, so, I mean, dealing with Harrison this week, I mean, yeah, that's a difference because he's faster than Peppers, but Peppers is like 6'8", 300-something pounds, so you go with dealing with that to dealing with a smaller, faster linebacker. I mean, you know, you just do the homework. I mean, I just think Aaron Rodgers, he's pretty good, and he deserves to be in the Super Bowl where he at right now. So, when I think about it, the best quarterback would have to be Ben. And the only reason why I say Ben Roethlisberger is because he been to the Super Bowl before. So nothing can happen that can make him start to panic or think like, we might not win this game. So every situation he should be comfortable in. So I get it average. I get I give it to Big Ben. I get it not the edge to him. Now, when you think about the wide receivers, and I think about Pittsburgh, they lost a lot of wide receivers. I mean, yeah, what's the dude from Indiana? He came back. I forget his name. He ain't important. He really don't do nothing no more. But he came back. Santonio Holmes is gone. The other dude, I think his name was Nate Washington or something. That was their tightest receivers. They gone now. You know, Santonio Holmes caught the touchdown in the end zone that won the Super Bowl when they played the Chargers. He's gone now. So when I look at the receivers, and you got Hines Ward, who's been there over a decade. I mean, I remember when he was a rookie, and now he's pushing retirement. Mike Wallace, who really, like, he's coming on right now, but nobody's really, I don't know, he's not no threat yet. Like, he can count a couple balls, but anybody could do that. So when I look at the wide receivers and I think about what Green Bay has with Jennings and the receiving core over there, I think that Green Bay kind of has the edge on that, because I think as far as tight ends go, I know Green Bay got injured tight ends, and Heath Miller is a damn good receiver over there for Pittsburgh. But as far as overall the air attack goes, I got to go with Green Bay on that. Now, when it comes to the running backs, you got Pittsburgh. Well, you got Green Bay, who hadn't had a running game all year long. They went with Brandon Jackson, and then when they got right close to where it was playoff time, they realized he sucked, and they got his ass out of there. And now they got Starks in there. Now, Starks is doing decent because nobody has tape on Starks. You don't know nothing about Starks. That's why he out there balling, because don't nobody know nothing about him. He started playing in the wild card game, so nobody had no tape on him to know how to play him. Now, if Green Bay is smart, which I'm sure they are, they're going to have a brand new playbook for him against the Steelers. So when they do that, if the Steelers can handle that, which I'm sure they can stop him from getting 100 yards, but he looks like a big body that can get in there and take a couple hits so Aaron Rodgers can get the passes off. So it should work, But the edge got to go to Pittsburgh. I mean, they're a running team. They run first, That's how they always been. That's how they always will be, you know what I'm saying? They throw the ball a lot more than they used to. Well, not really. When Terry Bradshaw was there, they threw it a lot too. But they throw it a lot now. But it still revolves around the running game. And I had to give Pittsburgh the edge in the running game. Rashad Mendenhall, he's crazy when he got the ball. The defense. Now, that's when it gets real heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at Pittsburgh, of course, defense, hands down. But when it gets to the secondary, that's when it gets a little shaky for me when it comes to the Steelers. I mean, Palomalu is back there. He's good. He's damn good when he's healthy. Who knows how healthy he is? And Ike Taylor and the rest of them, like, I really don't have no faith in their secondary. I mean, they probably got enough what it takes to get the job done, but I don't know when it comes to Aaron Rodgers if you got enough to get the job done, because that man, he's a beast with the ball. He's a real beast with the ball. So I don't know if the secondary in Pittsburgh has enough to take on Green Bay. But then on the flip side, Green Bay defense, they don't really have it all up front. They have Clay Matthews rushing in, which he's a linebacker and he's playing defensive end basically because he's always rushing the quarterback. But the secondary is damn good for Green Bay. It's just up front. I mean, Rajah, he's decent, but I don't know. I don't think they could hold up with that running game. And then with rushing Ben Roethlisberger, him coming out of the pocket, it really just don't look too good for Green Bay's defense. And when Clay Matthews Jr. runs into Ben Roethlisberger, I want to know who gets up. You know what I'm saying? Because Roethlisberger's a big dude. Matthews, I mean, he come in there with that fire. He come in there, he try to knock somebody on their ass. But when you come in there and that motherfucker just as big as you, can you knock him on his ass? We're going to see. But right now, I got to get an edge to Pittsburgh. In order for the Steelers to win, their secondary has to get at least 3 interceptions in the game against Aaron Rodgers. Mark my words. If they get 3 interceptions, I'm not saying just one person. Palomalu can get all 3 of them, but they need 3 picks, and they could win that game. I will give them the game. If they get 3 picks in the game on Aaron Rodgers, I will say that Pittsburgh will win that game. In order for the Packers to win, James Starks, the running back, has to have a big game. If he get 100 yards on the Steelers defense, Green Bay wins. End of discussion. He get 100 yards, they win. He don't even need a touchdown. All he need is 100 yards on the Steelers defense, and Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say. See. Yeah, he will.
Sports Talk with Ginzo Duckett was sponsored by Ambush Records. Ambush Records presents Bipolar Volume 2, The Book of Vin, hosted by the one and only Fingerroll, with appearances by D.A. Smart, Fingerroll, Lethal, Toddy Patron, and Jack Daniels. Bipolar Volume 2, The Book of Vin, available now. It's also brought to you by Nails by Natasha. If your nails aren't becoming, you should be coming to me. Located in Hammond, Indiana. Go to facebook.com/nailsbynatasha for more photos. 'Cause she has the best prices around. Natural nail designs, $10. Polish change, $5. And toes to match full set, $8. And there's a new special every month. So go to facebook.com/nailsbynatasha, pick out the designs you want, and call and make your appointment today. The number is 708-646-5879. The number again is 708-646-5879. Nails by Natasha.